Welcome back, all my fellow mobile gamers of YouTube. My name is NimbleThor, and today we're gonna sit down to play and talk a bit about Last Cloudia, which, if you're into min-maxing a team of heroes and you like above average interesting combat systems in your team-based RPGs, well, then you might just want to stick around today, because that is pretty much what Last Cloudia has to offer. Now, for those of you who might be worried about the monetization system, I just want to start out by saying that it's actually a lot better than in most team-based RPGs that I've played on mobile so far, but we'll get back to talking a whole lot more about the monetization system towards the end of this video. So instead though, let's start by talking a bit about the combat system. So we've got a team of 3 heroes plus a helper character with us, and this helper character is really just another player's character that we can control just for this one battle that we're in right now, and it's pretty much just there for us to be able to deal a bit of extra damage in these battles. Now, each of these heroes have a normal attack, which is used automatically for the characters that we don't currently control, and it can also be done automatically for the one we do control, but that all depends on how you set up your settings in this game. And we can then also switch between all of our heroes at any point in time. So for example, right now we're waiting for the next part or the next wave of the stage to start, but we can switch, for example, to the wolf-like character up here, or even over to the archer over here, for example. And then, as you might have noticed, each of these heroes also have one or more special abilities that charge up over time. So for example, Trinity Snipe we can choose to use right now to deal a ton of damage to that last unit. So now we are on for stage or wave 4 out of 4 in this level we're playing right now, which is typically a boss. So I think we've got a boss coming up. Warning, it says. That is probably because it's a boss here. Yes, there we go. The Devil Lord is the boss that we have to take out. He has 9,200 HP, and so we can switch between our units, and we can use all of their special abilities. This one actually has 2 different ones, so let's use all of those right now. Now, some of these heroes also can use magic, such as, for example, this one here, Darkness, which is a chance to inflict blindness upon a single enemy. So we can switch between the different targets. We want to target the Devil Lord here, and then I can tap that one and invoke. And let's see if we're successful at that. I think we weren't successful, but we can use the Final Braver now, which is a really strong ability that takes quite a bit to save up. And just look at these skill animations. That looks so, man, so freaking cool. Now it's down to about 50% of its HP. Now, this magic that some of these heroes are able to use depends on which arcs they equip. We'll get back to talking more about arcs later on. So for now, all you need to know is that arcs is what enables magic for our characters. They are not what enables the normal abilities, but they're what enables magic abilities. So during combat, we can also switch between targets, which is a pretty neat system. It's a smart implementation. We can simply tap the switch target button down here. Right now, there's only one monster, but as you can see, what happens is that it actually pauses the entire game. It allows us to change up our strategy, and then we can click attack to continue attacking the enemy. Right now, there's only one enemy because we're about to kill the boss, and he's actually dead already now. But typically, as you can imagine, you would be able to switch between the different ones. And all of these systems combined is what makes this combat system a lot more interesting than your average gacha team-based RPG's turn-based combat system. And also the fact that each of these levels has a couple of missions or quests that we aim to complete, and sometimes these quests can actually include a certain magic ability that we have to use during combat. That could be one quest, for example, and that's pretty cool since it means we can't just auto our way through everything. And I think for this one I already did complete all 3 missions, but it's pretty neat that we can't just use the auto system constantly. I always like that. You guys probably know my stance on auto systems at this point. Now, before we get into the whole hero unlocking and upgrading part of this game, I just gotta say that I was actually really surprised that this game has got an 8-bit art style, because when you're waiting to download the initial patch of this game, there's a very high quality video playing, and it gave me the impression that the graphical art style in-game would be the same as we saw on the loading screen, but it's not, and I'm not even mad about it, because the 8-bit art style looks freaking cool in this game. I was just kinda surprised about that. But in any case though, between battles, we of course attempt to make our heroes as strong as possible. So for example, what we can do is we can actually head back into the world map, and we can see if we can find a shop where we can buy some equipment. So for example, there's a port up here at Port Aldana. So let's go into the shop and see what it's selling. So it's selling a couple of different items for in-game gold, and we have quite a bit of that. We have 16,554 gold. So I might just want to buy an iron claw. What else do we want to buy? I say we go for an iron armor as well. That seems pretty nice to add some extra defense. Do we buy other stuff? Maybe the traveler staff. Let's go for that. And let's go for the iron axe as well, because that one adds 23 in strength. And so now, of course, we can head back to the home screen. We can go into the unit screen and we can select one of our heroes and try to equip some of this equipment that we just now purchased. So I'm gonna equip the Iron Axe on this guy, if I am allowed to do that. Yes, there we go. And then I am gonna equip the Iron Armor as well on this guy. There we go. So now he has more defense, plus 19 defense, and plus 23 in attack strength. Let's see if there's anything we can equip here on our wolf-like character. It looks like he can equip the Iron Claw. And of course, I didn't purchase any more armor, but at least that's going to add 12 in attack. And I don't think we have any items left, sadly, for the archer, do we? Nope, we don't. But this is one of the ways that we can go in here and make our hero stronger. What we can also do from this screen is we can go in and we can unlock new abilities for our characters, and this is a pretty substantial min-maxing system. I promised you guys, the min-maxing lovers out there, that there would be lots of systems like this, and this is just one example. So for example, we can choose to unlock an ability here. This one is gonna add 10 extra strength, it seems. There's another one over here that we could choose to go for instead, which is gonna add some more damage as well. I say we go for some more strength, and that is gonna cost some red crystallite and some crystallite fragment. So let's just do that right now, and there we go. We are now a tiny bit stronger. It's not a lot, but it's a bit. And of course, you can choose to upgrade intelligence as well, and you know, you can move on and on and on here, and this is what will allow you to make your version of a unit quite a bit different from, you know, other players' version of the same unit. Now, once we get a bit further into the game, as you can see, we can also enhance our units and we can also awaken them. But frankly, that's very typical for team-based RPGs and mobile, so it's not that interesting to spend too much time talking about. But what is interesting, though, is the arc system, because each hero gets to equip a single arc that makes the hero stronger in a couple of different ways. It might be a stat increase. It's actually always some sort of stat increase, but then it might also add a new type of magic, which is what I talked about before when we talked about the combat system. And we can find all of our arcs over here in the arc menu. Now, all of these arcs can be leveled up as well, and to do that we need souls, and we get a lot, both of the blue souls and the red souls, for free through normal gameplay. So you don't have to be too picky about how you spend it. But the more arcs we've got equipped though, and the higher level they are, the more souls is also required to play a level using that arc, and that acts a bit like an energy system basically. But we have so much of these souls though that it took me a very long time to even notice, and I don't consider this a big disadvantage of the game because it doesn't really have any real impact on me as a player. But it's still good to know that it's there, so if you spend all of your souls, you actually won't be able to play a level for, you know, maybe you have to wait 5 or 10 minutes, maybe 20 minutes, but that's basically what we're talking about, so it's not a very strict energy system. Now, unlocking more heroes and more arcs happens through the gacha system, and I've actually been really looking forward to recording this video because that would allow me to finally spend some of our premium currency on trying our luck at some 10x pulls in this gacha system, and I've kind of been saving up for that so that I could show you guys in this video. So this is the moment. This is just a 1x pull though, but let's see what we're gonna get. We got a rare arc. I think we had one already. It actually says that it's new though, so I guess this was actually a new arc. But for the next summon, I want to go for one of the really big ones. This one should allow us to get a new hero, and it's gonna guarantee a super rare arc. So I don't know if we're primarily gonna get arcs or we're primarily gonna get new characters. I'm hoping for a bit of both, but let's skip this very long animation here. It's quite long, frankly, and see what did we get. We got a rare arc. We got, oh yeah, we have to go through this, by the way. You can't just skip all of it. You do have to look at all of these arcs being unlocked. So we got another rare arc. And the rest are arcs as well, I guess. And here at the end, we got a super rare arc, or an SSR, which I do believe is the rarest types of arcs that we can get. And then the rest of these, it seems we had already. So we got 4 new arcs from this pull. That's pretty cool. I actually thought that we were going to be able to unlock new heroes as well, but I'm starting to question if I understood this game correctly. Maybe we actually don't get new heroes, and we only get new arcs instead. So I want to go for one more 10x pull just so you guys can see what you might be able to expect from this game. But we did already get one SSR though, but here we got a new hero. I think that has got to be a new hero and a super rare arc as well. So I wasn't completely wrong then. You know, there are actually new heroes that we can unlock in this game as well. Look at how many new arcs we're getting here, guys. This is so awesome. And another SSR arc to be added to our team. And then we end the whole thing off with another super rare one as well. That is freaking awesome, and we get so much free premium currency, by the way, through normal gameplay in this game, that you can probably go in and do these 10x pulls every week, maybe every other week or so. At the very least, you shouldn't worry too much about it. Just do those pulls and, cross your fingers that you're gonna get something really great. Now, I wanna go in here and have a look at the new unit that we just unlocked. Look at this one, Lukiel. So this one is going to be really interesting to level up. I think we might have to go back and replay some older levels with this character if we want to use that, because it's only level 1 and the other one's a level 8. And I haven't yet unlocked the thing that probably is going to allow me to very quickly level up new units through some sort of XP boosts or something like that. But if you notice what I just did there, I just collected some of these souls, and that's what I mean by souls being a pretty common resource in this game. Now, there is a cap to how much soul we can actually store. So right now, as you can see, we've capped out the blue soul. We've got 10,000 of it, as you can see in the top of the screen. So now we should really just go spend some of it by heading into the next level. Or, maybe spend it on upgrading one of our arcs instead. Now, Last Cloudia is still a pretty new game. So things like the PvP arena, for example, has not been unlocked yet. But there's plenty of PvE content, though, to dive into already. So if you're interested, you can find the links for this game in the description box down below this video, as always. And I would say that despite the monetization system, of course, enabling us to spend hundreds of dollars on in-app purchases, I haven't really felt limited by the monetization so far in this game, and it does seem to be less of an issue in Last Cloudia than in many other games, because the game is only single player, at least for the time being. With a monetization system like this, of course, PvP will never become 100% fair and 100% competitive, but if you're the type of player who likes to min-max to the extreme, though, this seems to be a pretty great game to get into, and especially because maxing out the rarest tier of arcs will only take you about 10 days or so. Someone on Reddit actually calculated that, which is not a lot of grinding actually in comparison to some other gacha team-based RPG games where it can easily take weeks to do, if not months, to level up, fully max out one of the rarest units in that game. So if you do decide to check out Last Cloudia for yourselves, my last suggestion would be to check out the Reddit community for the game as well, just for some, beginner tips and tricks, because that will definitely give you the best possible start in this game. This is a pretty big game. There is a lot to understand, and you're pretty much just thrown into it. There is a bit of a tutorial, but it doesn't really explain the whole thing that this game has to offer. So getting a few beginner tips here and there really isn't a bad idea in this game. But with that said, though, it's now time for the mobile gaming news of the day, which is that Pokemon Masters will receive 3 new campaign chapters in early November already, in addition to new, stronger difficulty levels becoming available as well, which makes it faster to farm the items that you actually need to level up your Pokemon. And not only that, though, the developers have also released a full roadmap for everything that will be added to the game, and that roadmap goes well into 2020, so there's quite a bit to look forward to here, both for new players and for those returning to the game. So with that said, thank you very much for sticking around till the end of this video. I really hope that you had a great time here today, and that you'll consider hitting that notification bell if you want more mobile gaming goodness straight into your YouTube inbox. So until next time, just keep gaming, stay awesome, and I'll see you guys around.